Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to The Pulse. Today we'll be talking about the end of an era, Game Informer. The longest running gaming magazine in the US has officially shut down. We'll also be discussing Bungie and the layoffs that happened last week. Following up after the news, new game releases, and a huge announcement from the Gamewave team. Let's get to it. So let me give you a little background on Game Informer. Game Informer was basically an in-house newsletter for a company called FuncoLand back in August of 1991. In 2000, GameStop had purchased FuncoLand and acquired the Game Informer magazine. From then on, Game Informer grew into the longest running video game magazine in the world. Now, if we fast forward to 2011, it was rated the third largest magazine in the US with over 8 million copies in circulation. Its website, which was actually around since 1996, provided fans with latest news, reviews, and insights from the gaming world. So with all of that in mind, for a lot of 90s kids like myself and early 2000s kids who actually subscribed to the actual magazine prior to it going to full digital, this is a moment where it's like Blockbuster. If you guys remember Blockbuster, it's one of those things that just, it's part of your childhood that's now going away. And it's a very big sentimental moment for us. So yeah, the announcement took place on X. GameStop had pretty much announced that Game Informer was no longer going to be operating. They had stated, after 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from ever-evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From another quote, from the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share the incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion we have for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being a part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. And it's pretty rough, knowing that GameStop has struggled year after year, just trying to make physical game sales, and it's just not panning out. The company's mismanagement in the past, the previous editor-in-chief, Andy McNamara, leaving back in 2020 to join Electronic Arts, it's a lot of turmoil. So it's just, it was only a matter of time that this has happened. It just sucks that it's happening now. So if you actually head over to Game Informer's website, you'll actually see a new splash page, or I guess a homepage, that pretty much says thanks to the customers. It's been more than a couple of decades where they wrote articles and reviews and had original reports and stuff. You should go over there and check it out, give it a read. It's a huge loss for the gaming community, but Game Informer's legacy will live on through a lot of our memories, and a little hit of nostalgia when we go look at some of the Game Informer covers. So next up, let's talk about the Bungie layoffs. So the total number of employees that were laid off is about 220 employees, or roughly about 17% of the game studio's total workforce. So this decision by Bungie came less than 2 months after the launch of the final shape, which is nuts to me. By many metrics, the game was doing very well. It's one of the most successful expansions next to, I would say, The Witch Queen, and me personally, the Taken King as well. So when Pete Parsons announced that there's still 850 people working on Destiny and Marathon, it just weird to me, because that's significantly lower than the amount of people that were working on Destiny in the past. So that is leading to more questions. Is the game still going to be able to go forward with most of the content that they promised? What's going to happen there? And, I'm not alone in that thought. There was a lot of people on X who, outside of, the typical, oh, this sucks, oh man, there's, Bungie's at it again and all that other stuff. There were actual real questions about, the future of Destiny and how that's going to play out. And speaking about Pete Parsons, last week there was an article that came out that pretty much stated that Pete Parsons spent $2.5 million on classic cars after the Sony deal had gone through. With that in mind, there is a lot of the community that's pretty much outraged right now, saying, what the heck is happening? Why is it that Bungie's executive team cannot just come together and, fix some things in Destiny, pay more attention to the actual company instead of themselves, and things like that? So, moving from that, Parsons had pretty much explained that, Bungie was being overly ambitious and consequently stretched its talent way too thin too quickly. He also mentioned that the company had scaled to an unsustainable size due to the industry's instability. That part made no sense to me if you're spending $2.5 million on classic cars, but that's just me. He also stated more information about Destiny 2's Lightfall being the reason why they were losing money, and the amount of revenue that they were expecting to come in just was not there. But you would think that the final shape being one of the probably the greatest expansion that Bungie has released would make up for some of the shortfalls of Lightfall. They pushed the expansion out a couple of months from the original release date, and they nailed it. It's great. There's so many good reviews out there for this latest expansion. So why is Bungie all of a sudden now in the red and can't get itself out? So here's another kicker and another, just bizarre questions just being floated around right now. There are still 4 open job roles posted on Bungie's career website, and 2 of those are for the upcoming PvP extraction game Marathon. So they're looking for a gameplay designer, and then they're looking for a release manager in the marketing department. So what's going on, really? Well, what you can actually speculate is that there's a lot of mismanagement happening. Obviously, $2.5 million on classic cars doesn't seem like the best use of money. The other thing is that it could just be Sony is coming in and, they're just saying, hey, this is how we do things. And, you guys are running a little hot, so let's cut the workforce. But this is also one of those things where Bungie is a company, Sony is also a company, and the first thing that comes to mind is profits. If they can't turn a profit, then obviously they're going to have to reduce the amount of money that they spend on employees. Now, again, if you're spending $2.5 million on classic cars, you're doing something wrong. Change it. Do something better for the company and for the players and the consumers that, take in your products. And then the people who create those things, give them the opportunity. There was a comment on X where one individual said, maybe it's about time that Bungie actually thinks about unionizing. And on the last Pulse, we talked about Bethesda unionizing and how that was actually going to transform the industry. And maybe this is one of those steps forwards for Bungie. Maybe they start actually thinking about, what is the real true cost of people getting laid off in the industry, and where all that knowledge and all that experience and, all of the things that come together to make a game or a company itself like Bungie truly great. We'll keep our eyes open for any future updates. We're hoping that Bungie can turn this around. Let us know what you think in the comments. What do you think about this whole thing unfolding, and the whole Pete Parsons thing and the $2.5 million on classic cars? I still find that so outrageous. Just let us know in the comments. And next up, new game releases for the week for the 12th and the 19th. The biggest game titles that you want to look out for is Madden NFL 25 on August 16th and Black Myth Wukong on August 20th. All right, so the big announcement coming from Gamewave. The team and I, we're actually going to be making a couple of big changes here on the channel, and we want to kind of cue you guys up and make sure that you guys know what's going on. So there are plans for different types of content that we're going to be doing. We're going to start doing gameplay. We're queuing up a lot of different types of guides and things like that. So if there's any guides or anything else that you guys want to see, or if there's any gameplay that you'd love to see, let us know in the comments. There's also another big change that's going to be coming. We're going to kind of save that for next week. We'll do a separate video on that. If you want to see some sneak peeks, we'll be posting those on social media. So, all the social I'll put down in the description. We do have a Discord server. So if you'd like to chat with us or give us suggestions or anything else like that, you can definitely do that on our Discord server. And to end this announcement, I want to give our subscribers a really big thank you. You guys could follow anyone on YouTube, and you've chosen to follow us and add us to your library per se. So yeah, we're really grateful to have you guys. We can't wait to have this channel grow. And yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or any feedback or anything else like that, please leave them in the comments. Thanks.